Righto. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. How are we doing? Are we all good? Let's smarten myself up here a bit. What's the old top button look like? Don't know. Let's have a look. Does that I look smart now. Actually, I look like a big geek. Right, okay. I've got a spare 45 minutes. I thought I'd pop in here and talk to you guys about lawful rebellion, what it is. We're going to get into the nuts and bolts of that. I'm just going to try and find some Wikipedia stuff on lawful rebellion, okay? And we're going to have a look at the definitions of lawful rebellion. So just bear with me. Let's wait for a few numbers to come up. Just bear with me. Nice to see you all. I need to see what you guys are seeing. Right. Here we go. So, who we got in the room? Nice to see you this afternoon. This one's called Lawful Rebellion. Afternoon. I'm in here till 1, and I've got to get ready because I'm going to golf this afternoon. But I want to talk to you about this thing called Lawful Rebellion and how it really is the way that we all need to go. All right. Han Solo. Hello, Han Solo. Are you new to the stream? Oh, nice to see you, mate. Are you new? Are we a newbie? That's lovely. Thanks for popping in and saying hello. I've just had my old man on the phone actually. He's in his mid to late 70s. He's got to be because I'm 53 this year, and I think he was 24, 25 when he had me. So yeah, he's all good. He's going, this country's finished. It's finished. I said, come on, man. Get a grip. So it is what it is. Right. So we have to look at the options that are available to us, right? Most of us know that can see with real life. I was just about to call you. Yeah, we'll have a little chat later on tonight. Gorgeous. Hannah on Facebook. Oh, that's lovely, darling. But what I'm saying is, are you new here to the YouTube? Yeah, it's really good. This channel's growing all the time, ladies and jelly spoons. Let me tell you, it is fantastic. I've not got the screen on today. We're going to do a bit of a screen in sharing. So hopefully you should start seeing this pop up. The right of revolution. Revolution. What is a revolution? How can we achieve a revolution? Blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Adam Cox, hello, gorgeous. Zevi Zircon, love you, man. I'm Ben Dow, afternoon, boyo. Hello, mate. Tracy Pearson, afternoon. Not new here, been watching you for a while on here. Fantastic. Oh, that's okay. Not new here. I was just say, are you subscribed? Have you subscribed to the channel? If it's your first time here, ladies and gentlemen, if you are a Dave Witcher virgin, please consider hitting the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification button. And there's a little bell button you might want to just catch there. The bell button will bring you up instant notifications of when we're going live. I'm just trying to grow this channel, right? So we're all paying attention. We're all seeing what's going on in this country with the police taking the knee, this BLM movement, wherever it is taking over. My dad just said to me, he said that, we're on the verge of a civil war. He said there's something going to go in here. I'm subscribed. Oh, lovely. Thanks, Han Solo. Hannah, it's lovely to see you. And I'm like, well, let's hope not. But it could be. It could be that there's a groundswell. Something's going on. First and foremost, I don't think the police can ever do this or sort this one out. Why? Because as much as they wear their weapons and they use their force and stuff, what I will say is they're not the sharpest tools in the box. All right. And that's all I want to say about the police. They're just not. They're not statisticians. They don't know how to work things out. They're just following orders. They're basically mind-dead drones. They're dragging people out of cars, harming them, killing them, maiming them, smashing them about. Why? Because their boss says it's okay to do so. That's the situation we find ourselves in. David Jenkins, hello, gorgeous. Right, so we need to look at the things that we can do and lawful rebellion. All right. What can we do as individuals? Sorry, I've not got COVID juices. No, I've just got hay fever, and I've just took a little antihistamine, so hopefully that's settled down soon. What can we do as people, right? Because you're all sat at home, you're all wondering about what's going on in the world. What powers do you have in your hands, within yourself, to change this around, right? And we will help. Myself, Zevi Zircon, we will help people to get back to the light side of life, all right? And that's all we want. We've seen now in America, Seattle now is a police-free zone, and it seems peaceful. There's people out that have put food like, so in Seattle, I just watched a video this morning. I might try and find it in a second. They've set up food stalls. This guy come out in Seattle, no police zone. He set up a food stall with what he could supply to people, because we're all supposed to be giving to each other, receiving guarantee. That's how we're supposed to roll. And all of a sudden, all these other people have come out and donated fruit, veg. He's got this massive stall now. And people are just going up and grabbing the food they want. Fantastic. So Seattle now is a police-free zone. And I guess that the mediocrity and the cabal in Seattle will probably see how this goes for a month or two. And if it goes all sweet and there's not too much problems and the police are not overly required, I firstly think the system and the police are responsible for a lot of the problems in this country. I really do. They're just a tyranny, all right? So what do? Do we go out protesting? Do we go out protecting the statues? We have to consider, right, how we can affect the system, all right? What is it we can do as individuals right here, right now, that are going to perturb the system and cause the system some stress? Is it going out rioting on the streets? No. Is it going out protecting statues? No. Is it withholding taxes? Absolutely. Is it saying no to the system and not shopping in places that have got all these 2 meter distancing and each seeking missiles? Yeah, it is. So that's what lawful rebellion is. Right. So it says it in political philosophy. And I'm not really one for politics. I hate the political thing. The right of revolution or right of rebellion is the right or duty of a people of a nation to overthrow a government that acts against the common interest and or threatens the safety of the people without cause. Now, ladies and gentlemen, tell me we're not there. Tell me that we don't have a government that doesn't, and we've actually got a government that acts against the common interests of the people of this country and threatens their safety. All right? That's the first duty of government, is to keep the people safe. They have failed. They're only interested in opening up shopping malls. Boris Johnson's only interested in consumerism, customers, etc., etc. They're a corporate government. They're a business. They're not for the people, by the people. Make no mistake about that. So what do? You continue to go down with the plotting of Boris Johnson and all these cohorts like Tony Blair and all the others over the year of you just being customers, etc., etc., or do you actually say, no, we're going to start something new, something fresh? So what you do now, I put a post up on my local page yesterday in my village saying, look, rather than play the police through council tax, why don't we as a parish pay 4 or 5 lumps to go around in a car every night to keep the streets safe, and to politely, if they see any criminality going on, just politely pull over and then do a citizen's arrest. And there's quite a few people have gone, fantastic idea. Because if I sat here today and got burgled, or someone was to come around and be foolish enough to try and burgle me, I'll ring the police. They probably wouldn't come out. If I phoned the police now and said I've been burgled, they're not going to turn up unless I've told them I've killed someone. If I say I think I've smashed him over the head with my frying pan, I was doing my eggs at the time, but he come up behind me, wallet. So I've turned around, and my eggs have gone flying. The yolks are no good now. The eggs are fucked. But I've smashed him over the head. I think he's dead. He could be dead. I'm not sure. I don't know. being on it, they're around there straight away. But they won't come out for a burglary. All right? That's the problem. That's a failure. Okay? That is a failure, a complete failure in the system. So the right of revolution, the right of rebellion is us pulling our power and finding out ways to pull ourselves out of this system and come back to our natural rights, our God-given rights, and stand in that. It's a very powerful thing to do. Because the system only requires your energy and your commercialism. That's all that they're after. They don't care about you. All right? Right, so a government that acts against their common interests or the threatens the safety of their people without cause. That's exactly what we've got right now. State throughout history in one form or another, the belief is this right that has been used to justify various revolutions. To justify the overthrow of the early Shang dynasty, the king, blah, 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 promulgated the concept known as the mandate of heaven. That heaven would bless the authority as a just ruler. Now, that's what we've kind of got. Our rulers do think that they're blessed from heaven to do what they do to us. And they are fucking not. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, they are fucking far removed from fucking heaven as the devil himself. They don't look after us, as we can clearly see by people having their throat slit this weekend up in London. Another example is Magna Carta. An English charter issued in 1215 required the king to renounce certain rights and accept that he would be bound by the law. That's what we need. We need a queen that's going to be bound by the rule of law. We need Her Majesty the Queen and all her fucktards like Prince Andrew. I wasn't at Pizza Hut. I was at Pizza Hut in Woking at the time. Beatrice needed to use the toilets, facilities, and we went in without a pizza. And it's a very unusual thing for me to do. Who swallowed that bullshit? Did anyone actually swallow that bullshit? No. So what we need to do is we need somehow, through lawful rebellion, by us taking all back our own rights and stop funding this system, which we have the absolute right to do, and that's the power that we hold. Because once we've given our energy to the system, that's it, it's gone. Withhold, people, withhold. Do whatever it is that you can to withhold. Grow your own food. Stop paying your taxes. Try and produce your own energy. Think about, we have to starve this beast because the beast is an all-consuming nastiness. It really is. Now, if the system was sweet, I would not even be talking like this. I wouldn't even come in here and waste my time. I really wouldn't. But I know the system is now giving us a kick right in the ribs. They've ignored our Magna Carta for a long time. It's not our Magna Carta. It's their Magna Carta. It's what places limits and restraints on them. It's not for us. It's not for us to use. It was never signed, and we can't use it. But what we can do is we can use... So if this is the Magna Carta, we just use the Magna Carta and say to the system, bomb, there you go. This is what restrains you, where we're going to move now. And they won't come near you because they know the rule of law. They know the common law. But we need to get our queen or the royal family back and bound them up in the rule of law. Because that's what they used to be bound up in. They used to be bound in the rule of law. All right. So this quick little podcast the other day is all about you pulling your power, entering lawful rebellion. And we will show you ways and help you achieve that. We will send you via email documents that you need just to serve at your local courts that will remedy you and release you and relinquish you from their grip, because they're only operating on a presumption that you want it and wish it that way. Once you have returned their stuff and switched things up in a certain way, they will no longer come and play with you. Now, you have to have a righteous mind. You have to have a righteous heart. You can't be an idiot with this. You have to be respectful for life, humanity, mankind, whatever it is you want to call it. You have to respect it. Oh, excuse me. COVID juice has just flown everywhere. Can you imagine me in Primark right now? That'd be fun, wouldn't it? Just popping down Primark, darling. Yeah. Don't forget to stay in your bubble. Fuck that bubble. My mate was on the trains yesterday without wearing a mask. Lisa, go on rocking, man. She's like, I ain't fucking wearing a mask. What the fuck's this fucking mask wearing all about? As far as I'm concerned, this was the start to get Parliament onto the land. Amen. 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 Excuse Excuse me. Oh, I might have to cut this one short because the hay fever's kicking right in. Fake royal bloodlines. Yeah, mask on. Everyone in the room, just in case it comes down the interweb, just in case it pops down. I don't want you to take any fucking chances. Don't do it. So, we have the power. We deny the system a lifeline. Anything that you can do that stops your energy being used by this system, let me tell you, you've got no idea. If you all go down the path of lawful rebellion, which is your God-given right, you'll see the system crumble. You really will. The bank's doing their utmost to stop. Well, I've just emailed Top Styles this morning. They've said to me, they've emailed me this morning, as you know, I do bathrooms and central heating and all that. They said, we're opening back up, but we're implementing measures. Everything's going to be wiped down. We're going to bend the manager over and put a wipe up his bum. So, you know, so there's no COVID stuff going on. So they said, no cash, card only. So I went back, whoa. Hang on. Cash is lawful and legal tender. You have to absolutely take it. I said, and if you don't, I won't shop there no more. Remove me from your system. And I said, because if I've got to come to your shop and handle your fucking adhesives, your tiles and your grats and all the other bits and bobs that goes with it, that your staff have fucking handled, then you can handle my fucking banknotes. How's about that? They said, we'll get back to you. They are going, the devil is going for this one world government, this cashless society. And I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, once you go cashless, you're going to see a lot of people die. What about old people that don't have credit cards? What about them? What about them that don't have computers? You've got a massive bit of the you've got old generation that won't. My neighbour won't touch a computer. Never touched one in his life. Got no interest in them. What's he going to do? Yeah, what's he going to do? They're just animals. This banking cartel is, I think it's Luciferian. I actually think that the banking cartel, as it is at the moment, is an absolute Luciferian fucking doctrine. I really do. It's not fair no more. It's not fair. They've introduced everybody into this slavery-based system through economics. Everyone's accustomed and this, that. But now they're changing the game rules. And they're denying everybody through this lockdown measure. This lockdown thing's killed more people than the virus itself. I just explained that to my dad this morning. He went, yeah, fucking hell. He said, yeah, mate, you're right. I said, the amount of businesses has gone out of thingy. No one can eat. No one's doing this. I said, can you imagine how many people this has affected that can't get operations in the hospitals? This, that, the other. He went, yeah. He said, yeah, I do. So that's where we're at, peeps. Lawful rebellion is the only way we've got now, and that is to deny the system a lifeline. And let me tell you, if you don't think that it's going to make a massive difference, trust me, it will. If 100 of you today decided, that's it, no more of this, no more of that, we're not having this, we're not funding these megalomaniacs, we're not funding these councils, let me tell you, the impact will surely be felt by the public servants. And what you actually bring them back to is a time period where they were very small, they didn't have much clout, and they were very respectful to you, and they went out their way to do right by you. Okay? That's how it should be. That's how public servants should be. Public servants should be humble. They should be grateful. They should be respectful. But they're not now. They're the master race, and we've allowed this, and we've got to change this around. So lawful rebellion, when you consider all you are, energy units, money this, money that, pay this, pay that, ATMs, customs and revenue, pay this, pay that, pay this, pay that. The minute that you desire, that you serve your documents and you say, no, this is God's kingdom, I live in God's kingdom, I'm one of God's souls, one of his children, I'm not being treated like this, and you start to deny these people a lifeline. I mean, I rang Mason Borough Council up about 5 years ago, and I recorded it and put it on my Facebook. And I said, my nan's worried about this and that. She don't want to fill out this census. It was when the census was out. And this woman in the council says she has no choice. She has to do it. And I went, well, you won't change her mind. She ain't fucking doing it. So shove it out your ass. That's the mentality of these councils now. You have no choice. You have to do what we tell you. In point of fact, no, we don't. We don't have to do anything a council tells us. We don't have to do anything a copper tells us unless we're breaking the proper law. We don't have to do it. And once you get into lawful rebellion and you understand what lawful rebellion is and that we are fighting for our country right now, you might decide that you want to actually make a difference for yourself and for your future generations. And I really hope that you jump on board. I really, really do. The bank's doing their utmost to stop his claiming this statutory indemnity clawback. She knows. Yeah, well, good for you. If anyone knows the actual proper process of indemnity clawbacks, if you can let me know, I'm going to start smashing my bank as well for bits and bobs, because these times are upon us, ladies and gentlemen. They've crashed the whole country. They've crashed the whole thing for COVID juice. Don't make sense. Would our ancestors have crashed what was going on back during the plague and the Spanish flu? No, not a chance. They couldn't. They wouldn't have been able to do that. This is the modern government. This is the New World Order implementing its final plans. This has all been coming from Brexit. Make no mistakes about it, right? This is absolutely 100% all planned out. All planned out. Even if this COVID thing is real, it's a man-made thing. It's been created by governments to lock us all down and to put us in a state of fear. And I said to my dad, I won't live in fear, Dad. I'm not putting a fucking mask on. I'm not putting the gloves on, because I'd rather live freely and die of it. It won't bother me. If I caught it today of my own free will and I died of it tomorrow, I'd die with a smile on my face. I really would, because I'm not living in this fear-based situation. So that's the powers that you hold, ladies and gentlemen. All right. And that's what lawful rebellion is. Lawful rebellion is denying the system a lifeline. You're not fighting. You're not going out causing mayhem. You're not pulling down statues. You're politely declining and entering lawful rebellion. You really need to do this. You really need to understand what lawful rebellion is, right? Let's see if I can find some more stuff on lawful rebellion. Let's just have a look. Right, so rebellion on Wikipedia. So, rebellion, uprising, or insurrection is a refusal of obedience of order. That's it. That's all you've got to do. Our people of our country and around the world are obedient. The British, the English, whatever you want to call us, are so obedient. If a copper said to you, go and stand up in the wall and pull your top up and flash your tits, girls, I tell you what, pretty much 99% of the women out there would fucking do that without question, because they're obedient. We are obedient people. We need to get rid of this obedience, and we need to come back to the rule of law. It refers to the open resistance against the order of an established authority, right? So that's rebellion, uprising, insurrection. So let's have a fucking insurrection, shall we? A rebellion originates from the sentiment of indignation and disapproval of a situation that manifests itself by the refusal to submit or to obey the authority responsible for that situation. So that's exactly where we are at. And this is exactly what we need to do. Rebellion can be individual or collective, peaceful. Peace is a concept of societal friendship and harmony in the absence of hostility and violence. That is what I want. I want peace. In a social sense, peace is commonly used to mean a lack of conflict and freedom from fear or violence between individuals or groups. Throughout history, leaders have used peacemaking and whatever else, right? I don't know what that's going to say after that. I want this. I want peaceful. Civil disobedience. Civil disobedience is the active professed refusal of a citizen to obey certain laws, demands, orders, or commands of a government. Now, I started this 10 years ago. In 2013, I had HMRC, HMCTS courts put a warrant out for the arrest of the fictional name, and I rang them up and told them to Foxtrot uniform Charlie Kilo off. I said, don't you come and touch me. Don't you harm my soul or spirit. Fuck off. I'm not playing your games no more. That was 7 years ago. That was the year I descended into civil disobedience. Civil resistance is a political action that relies on the use of non-violent resistance by civil groups to challenge a particular power, force, policy, or regime. We have a regime now. Civil resistance operates through appeals to the adversary, pressure, or coercion, right? That's exactly what we need to do. We need to be the adverse of what we have. If we want to do this, we have to do this non-violent resistance. We don't want to be the thugs that are out in these BLMs. We want to be like this. Non-violent resistance is the practice of achieving goals such as a social change through symbolic protest, civil disobedience, economic or political non-cooperation. Boom! That's it. If all of these people in this picture here, God bless them, that's Gandhi in the middle by looks of things. If we all no wonder he took a bullet to the head. No wonder they killed him. Can't wonder at it, can you? This is where we need to be. Let me zoom in a bit harder on this. Oh, suits you, sir. Let's zoom in a bit harder. And we're going to have a look at that. So, we've just come onto full screen. You should see Gandhi now in the middle. This is what we need to be, all right? Non-violent resistance. This is exactly where we need to be. Is the practice of achieving goals such as social change through symbolic protest, civil disobedience, economic or political non-cooperation. That's all I do. That's all I do. I don't do nothing else. I might go up for the odd protest now and again, but that's really only to see my friends. Because I know that protesting is begging. It's a form of begging. But we're not begging when we deny the system a lifeline. When we go into proper lawful rebellion, non-resistant, non-violent resistance, we're not harming anybody. We're just living our lives, but we decided not to play the game anymore. And I just hope that people really, really, really get on board with this, because this is all we need. In political terms, rebellion and revolt are often distinguished by their different aims. If rebellion generally seeks to evade or to gain concessions from an oppressive power, a revolt seeks to overthrow and destroy that power, as well as its accompanying laws. We don't have laws in this country no more, ladies and gentlemen. We have force. We have a police force. Law is non-existent. They make the rules up as they go along. The goal of rebellion is resistance, while a revolt seeks a revolution, right? As power shifts relative to the external adversary, or power shifts within a mixed coalition, or positions harden or soften on either side, an insurrection may seesaw between the two forms, right? So we need to be the non-violent side of this. This is what we need. Civil resistant movements have often aimed at and brought about the fall of a government or head of a state, and in these cases could be considered a form of rebellion, right? Civil resistance is what we need. Is a political action that relies on the use of non-violent resistance by civil groups to challenge a particular power, force, policy, or regime. People, this is where we need to be. We don't want violence. We don't want protests. We don't want to be riotous. We need civil resistance. Civil resistance operate through appeals to the adversary, pressure and coercion. It can involve systematic attempts to undermine the adversary. That's all I seek to do. I seek to undermine my adversary. Now, my adversary now is my own fucking government. It's true. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. I'm more than is. Tell me I'm wrong. Am I wrong? I don't know. I'm not too sure I am. Like and share, Zevi Zircon. Hello, gorgeous. Antifa are paid by Soros. George Soros. Let's have a quick look at Antifa. Let's have a look. So, Donald Trump, this is The Guardian. Let's just bring you back into here. So this is the Guardian. What is Antifa, and why is Donald Trump targeting it? The president proposed the US designate it a terrorist organization, but experts say it is just a loosely organized movement. Donald Trump promised on Twitter that weeks after the United States of America would be designating Antifa as a terrorist organization. Legal experts immediately threw cold water on that proposal. Why? Because they want Antifa to succeed, people. The legal experts want Antifa to succeed. They want the nihilists destroying this country. That's what they want. So that's why the legal system is all about submission. You will bow down to them. And Antifa, with what they're doing, is exactly what George Soros and the legal system want. They want this, people. This is playing out just as they want it. But Donald Trump's trying to stop that, arguing that there may be no means by which any domestic entity can be designated in this way. Right? Some people believe Antifa conspiracy theories are common amongst right-wing. See, look, conspiracy theories, straight away, that was created by the FBI and the internal agencies in America, the deep state, come up with this terminology back in the 70s. They coined this conspiracy theory so that no one took you seriously. So when someone calls you a conspiracy theorist, what it means is they're too fucking lazy to look at the real world and the information being presented for themselves. That's all that it is. But this was the CIA invented these words, conspiracy theory. That was a CIA concept. Are common. It absolutely was. Are common amongst right-wing politicians. What's a right-wing politician? All these buzzwords in here. Look, this is the doublespeak. This is all doublespeak. The rights describe Antifa as a unitary organisation with leaders and even secret funding, though that is simply not true. And anti-Semitic conspiracy theorists that the billionaire financier George Soros, see, they have to give you the truth and the lie. These media outlets, they're not your friends. They are your enemy. And you will one day realise all this. They have to give you the truth and the lie in the same thing. So here's the lie. The conspiracy theory is the truth. George Soros funds Antifa. Also with widespread currency on the right. And in actual fact, if anybody's got any information on these pieces of paper that are streaming around where George Soros is funding Antifa, please let me know and we'll get that out there. I want proof that this is happening. What's going on here? People having a little private conversation. Shame about his wife, though. Spikey Humphries, hello, son. Nice to see you. You knew me, Spikey. Yeah, mate, I'm loving that profile picture. That being in face. Good smile, mate. Good smile. People, keep your energies up, right? Whatever's going on out in the world, right? Don't get down. You've got to understand how powerful you are and how strong you are when you are not divided, when you are strong in mind, when you're spiritually attuned, when you're physically exercising, you're eating good food, you'll feel your vibration come up. Whatever's going on out there in the world now, don't get depressed, don't get down. Just want to do something about it. Do something about the situation you find yourself in, and all things will line up perfectly. Okay? This is a time for reflection. This is a time for getting fit. This is a time for eating great food. Okay? It really, really is. This is a time for having a good deep sigh of breath of relief and go, we've got deer going back in certain parts of London on grass commons under trees with their families. It's a beautiful thing to see. Nature's now taking back control. But don't get depressed with all of this stuff. Just choose where you place your faith, your energy, etc., 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 and watch the world change. Because you have the power to change the world. You are the world. So change it. Change your outlook, change your whatever it is you're doing. Defund this system, come into this beautiful thing, all right, of lawful rebellion and say no more. Me and the guys in here, if you put out your information and your emails, we will send you the few documents that all you have to do is serve them on your local courts and they will leave you alone, all right? Because we're now at the time where we're getting a separation of the wheat and the tares, okay? The parable of the sower. We've got the tares and we've got the wheat. We want the wheat to go this way and we want the tares to be bound up and burned. We are absolutely in the parable of the sower. You might want to go and look at that. Let's have a look at the parable of the sower. Before I disappear, we're going to have a look at the parable of the sower. Right, so this is, look, people, I read the Bible all the time. It keeps me sane, it keeps me safe, keeps my feet on the ground. The parable of the sower is an allegory. Oh, hang on, you can't see this, can you? Apologies. Let's just share this out. We're going to do it on full screen a second. Right, so the parable of the sower is the book of Matthew 13, 1-9, 18 to 23. Now, why do I read the Bible? I read the Bible because it's the law. I don't read it because I'm religious, I'm spiritual. I don't read it to bash people around the head. I'm not a preacher. I don't do sermons. I've got no time for that. But what the Bible does, it teaches you about who you are in this world, right? The parable of the sower is an allegory about the kingdom of God. In other words, it can be interpreted. But what you've got to understand is you are the kingdom of God. It's not a separation. It is you. It can be interpreted to reveal a hidden meaning. Everything in this story presents something else. It is a growth parable. All right. A man went out to sow grain. The man represents God and the seed is his message. Significance for today. Just as a planted seed starts to grow, the word of God starts to deepen and grow within a person. Well, it can't grow within a person. It grows within a man or a woman because persons ain't real. James chapter 2, verse 9. Some seed fell on the path and the bird ate it. The birds represent Satan. The seed on the path represents people who hear the message but is immediately lost. Boom! This ain't the actual, that's not the parable I want. But the parable I'm thinking about is where the master sat indoors. The servants come running and say, Master, there's weeds growing up amongst your seed. Did you plant bad seed? Did your crop, did it, you know? And he went, no. He said, an enemy's done this. An enemy's come in and done this. All right. So he says, the slaves say, what do you want us to do? They're panicking. And they're saying, do you want us to pull the weeds out? He says, no, whoa. If you pull our weeds up, you're going to ruin the crop. We're all going to be fucked. So he said, wait until harvest. When harvest comes, pull up the weeds, bound them up and burn them and put my wheat in the barn. Now that is exactly where we're at right now. Okay. There is this parable of the sower. We have the separation of the wheats and the tares. Trust me, we really have. Jesus Jones, fantastic comment. National socialism equals communism. Amen, it does. My nephew is now following you and he wants to contact you. Yes, that's fine, Dorothy. What's his name? If you can put his name up, where does he want to contact me? If you just put his name up, I'll find him somewhere. If you put his Facebook name up, I'll find him. God bless him. David Wilson, got an email. Happy days. David Wilson, another true patriot, another godly soul. Love you to pieces, brother. Please send me the documents. Yes, we will, Dave. I've got you on Facebook, haven't I? If you message me or Zevi Zircon or Danny Knightley often pops in here. I think he's Zev. Is he Danny Knightley in here? David Jenkins. All right, gorgeous. Had a little chat with Dave the other night. Lovely to see you, Dave. Zev, he said, you don't answer your phone. Zev's living the dream, man. Zev is living the dream. Stem from Nazism, which was set up for us today. Mate, honestly, You got a copper whipping you out of your car, smashing you up with a machine gun or a sidearm. Yeah, you're in 36 Germany. Make no mistake about that. There's nothing to do with the law. That's all about force. When a copper stood there and he's got his gun out and he goes, "And a hot bastard," guess what? That's tyranny. You can dress it up. There can be people that, "Oh, staying around, staying." No, it's fucking tyranny, people. And until you wake up and see it for the truth of how it is, nothing's going to change. But when you wake up one day and you look at that copy and go, "That is proper tyranny, boys and girls, and we can't tolerate that. We best get into some lawful rebellion here and we need to starve these mother truckers," then you'll start making a difference. Then you really, really will. Bit chew. All right. Well, look, I've got to go because it's just coming up for 1 o'clock. I've got to go and pick my mate up at 2. We're off playing a bit of golf this afternoon. Hope the weather holds off. Stay blessed. Stay safe. Please consider subscribing, liking, hitting the bell button for future notifications. And if you've enjoyed this moment of common sense, rationale, and keeping your feet on the ground, please consider just staying tuned. Please share this with your friends and families. Let's grow this channel together. We need to grow this together. As for Facebook and stuff, I'm pretty much done on there. That's why I come in here a couple of times a day, especially while we're all on lockup. I'm not on lockup. I'm going golf. So, yeah, I'll see you all very, very soon. Stay blessed. Stay safe. Have beautiful, beautiful days, people. All right. And I'll see you later.